Steele needed to return it. I mean, you didn't go forward with that prosecution. If you've got some other case law you want me to look at, but
by the way, it sounds like they're about to throw out the evidence with the thing they got from Thug's phone.
Statute is because they didn't want the state.
Why is it cutting it out? I have no idea why it's cutting out. Again, this judge's ruling if cell phone evidence that was found in a arrest and a search of Young Thug should be used when it was later suppressed, but the only reason why they never got the data from it the first time is because, okay, quiet now.
Yeah, and Mr. Steele's argument is, and just hear me out, you didn't have a valid arrest warrant to begin with. Now you got one, but you didn't have one when you had one in front of Judge Newkirk. You sought a search warrant, so you weren't in the right place and space to begin with, because you went in the house, somebody saw some marijuana, or somebody saw whatever it is, and they, in D10, they got a they drew an affidavit, and they said, okay, we want to search the house. Well, you got to be in the right place and space to begin with to have the authority to search the house to begin with. Mr. Steele, in his motions, asked for suppression of anything that was taken in the house. So marijuana and anything else that was the basis of that. So that's fruit of the poisonous tree. He's argued that all throughout his motion. He's argued that. And so Judge Newkirk, by implication, had to consider it as part of his ruling. So you're asking me to kind of, okay, well, the marijuana's over here, that's fine, but he didn't suppress the other stuff, we can still use it. That's not the way I interpret this particular scenario and interpret the law related to search and seizure of this particular item.
Your Honor, thank you. And respectfully, the issue of whether or not the state had a valid arrest warrant is...
The next motion they're going to have to file is how to suppress Gunner, because he's a new witness.
Respect to, did we have one with the certified document that the court has that the state has tendered as evidence? So it's not a matter that the state did not have lawful authority to enter into the home.
But you didn't have it at the time that Mr. Steele...
We had the search warrant. That search warrant, that certified document that is in evidence, Your Honor, has a date on it. It was signed and filed well before Mr. Steele made that motion, and it was a part of the record of the clerk of court.
But you all didn't.
It was sworn out again.
The challenge is you all didn't take that up on appeal or anything. It was ruled upon by Judge Newkirk.
Your Honor.
So at this point in time, is it fair to Mr. Williams for you to have another bite at the apple? I mean, at this point, because you're asking me to go ahead and let you use this particular evidence that arguably another one of my judicial colleagues has said, hey, despite the fact that we disagree about how the motion has been styled, clearly it would be subject to being suppressed.
And Your Honor,
and even if I agree with you, okay, let's say you corrected all that. 17-530 is still fatal to you. You still would have needed to return the property, and you haven't given me any legal justification for you to keep that property and continue to then investigate that property or search that property. Unlike trial evidence that clear you could have done that. 17-530 is distinguishable because it's like the legislature seemed to indicate, well, we don't want the state to go ahead and continue to keep investigating an individual based on evidence that a court has suppressed. So that's kind of where I am.
Your Honor, if I may, the distinction is that there was a good faith basis for obtaining the search warrant and for getting the search warrant. A search warrant affidavit for the home itself was sworn out. There was, in fact, an arrest warrant that did exist. It was lawful. The fact that there was not one presented in the 16 SC case is what, yes, caused Judge Newkirk to suppress the evidence as to that case, Your Honor.
Okay, and why didn't you return the other stuff to Mr. Williams? You wouldn't have had to return the contraband. Everybody's clear about that. Contraband or weapons would not have been returnable to Mr. Williams. Why didn't you return any of the other stuff?
We had actually sought the search warrant, Your Honor, and I think that the court can look at the dates on the search warrant, on the arrest warrants, and see that we had actually already received lawful authority to search. We had already sought and obtained a search warrant for the items. We had already obtained.
I ain't gonna lie, they getting their ass whipped right now.
Was lawful authority.
If Judge Newkirk has already suppressed the marijuana on that under the same analysis, okay, then why wouldn't the rest of the stuff that you took be suppressible at that point in time and through the poisonous tree?
Your Honor,
apparently Thug's sister didn't call Gunna a rat. Apparently that was old, and apparently Thug's sister actually said Gunna's not a snitch. So maybe there's blessing from Thug that this was gonna happen.
We had what we.
Yo, Coke, what's good, nigga? Is that my nigga Coke in the chat with the prime sub?
The search warrants that were obtained, and we have witnesses that will testify.
Assume I believe you, okay? Assume I believe you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Still, cases, Judge.
Shout out to that boy Academics for covering this trial, man. It's craziness. So, seems like everybody is just snitching on everybody right now. Pretty much that's what's going on. Whole bunch of snitching. Make sure y'all stay tapped in with me. Stay tapped in. Hold on 1 second. Matter of fact, we'll be right back.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Still.
These other crimes that we were at that point investigating prior to Judge Newkirk hearing the motions, prior to Judge Newkirk issuing the order that he issued, even if the court were to see it as more expansive than
what just happened
is, we had probable cause based on information and sources independent of the fact that the defendant had marijuana or firearms or whatever it was that was seen when the officers initially entered the home to execute what was and what is.
EVE Online on Mac immerses you in a universe with thousands of star systems like never before.
All right, see how they
Follow a
do?
path of your own choosing and become a titan of
Time, because at the hearing that you had in front of him, or Mr. Bailey represented you all on the 3rd of April of 2017.
Tell everybody to refresh. I don't know what just happened. Sorry.
Particular certified copy of the arrest warrant, and so Mr. Steele by argument says, hey, look, I am extending my motion. I'm going to include everything that's in the house because you weren't validly in the correct space and place. Now, had you had that search warrant at that point in time, or not search warrant, but the arrest warrant valid at that point in time, then Judge Newkirk would have probably said, okay, well, then you're fine. But that wasn't that, these particular scenarios have to be ruled upon in terms of what the judge has at that point in time. So, if you look at that, even if I accept, which I have, I've admitted, states 1, 2, and 3, you still have to return the man's property. He's asked for it to be returned. He hasn't had it returned pursuant to 17-5-30, because I can't go back and unring the bell in terms of Judge Newkirk's. You're not saying Judge Newkirk's ruling was erroneous, are you?
I'm saying that Judge Newkirk's finding was that we had not presented a certified copy of the arrest warrant, which is not the same as that there was an unlawful search and seizure. It's just that the state had not tendered.
On 3 April.
They said La Bebe and D Savage trying to hack my computer, bro.
So, you're asking me at this point in time to say, hey, Judge, we can correct that. on December the 15th of 2022, you've introduced states 1, 2, and 3 certified copies of the arrest warrant, the return of search warrant and inventory, and the affidavit for search warrant. And that's why I'm telling you, assuming that that is now corrected, the problem that you still would have is the return of property under 17-5-30 because you took the marijuana and the other pieces of evidence from Mr. Williams' home. I don't think the law distinguishes between that. So you would have had to return that. You still would have to return the property to him. So because at this point in time, he's entitled, or he would have been entitled, he's asked, and Mr. Steele has already introduced from in the last hearing on the 17th, he's asked me, or he's introduced a letter that he sent to Mr. Bailey saying, hey, I want the evidence back.
Your Honor, but the court did not rule that the state had to return that evidence, number one. There was no ruling as to that.
I disagree. I disagree with you. I disagree. By implication, Judge Newkirk had to have considered the fruit of the poisonous tree. Mr. Steele asked him to do that. And it's a snapshot in time. So on the 3rd of April, 2017, you didn't have what you have now. And so you're asking me to correct something that is arguably, can I do that? I mean, and even if I can, that still runs afoul of 17-5-30. You still would have had to return Mr. Williams' property, and then Mr. Steele asked you for the return of that property. And there's no exception under 17-5-30 pretrial that gives you the ability to keep the property. You have to return the property. The property that, and then you took that particular property, in particular his phone, and then you extricated things out of it, which would be tainted or fruit of the poisonous tree because you didn't have the right to keep that. You didn't have the right to keep that particular evidence under 17-5-30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's the ruling. That's the ruling, man. The judge trying to free Big Slime out the cage, man.
All right, let me finish what I was going to say. Okay, for purposes of Mr. Steele, you can prepare an order. Okay, sufficient to recap what the court has indicated during this particular motion. Now, I know that puts us in a position where some stuff that you may have the state was going to admit or utilize. Does that change your position, ladies and sir, about where you are with what would be admissible in this particular prosecution?
Your Honor, there are items that, of course, are affected by the courts suppressing the evidence that was seized back in 2015. There are some items that we believe may have more evidentiary value than others. And so it does affect.
That's my boy Uncle Phil right there, man. Salute to Uncle Phil.
Introduced in this case.
Well, I was just asking because if you need to sit and talk with Mr. Steele about what you can agree that would be not admissible at this point in time, given my ruling.
Why is this thing cutting out? This is not me. This is the feed directly from the court. Wow, this is cut. Let me see if I can go to live. Yeah, it's still cut out. Not too sure why that's happening. Let me see if Nancy Dillon has tweeted anything. By the way, we're going back and forth between Young Thug is in court. Apparently this is what Young Thug's sister has said. So it looks like YSL is not looking at Gunna as any type of snitch. That's what she said.
Please stop saying that people ready and people this and that. Like, it's not making it's not making anybody better. It's not making nothing but good, bro. Like nothing that's going on is not helping my brother. So can y'all please stop that? Can y'all please stop? If y'all love Gunner, then y'all give him support. Like what y'all over there doing? Y'all tripping. It'd be the internet for me. And no, I haven't posted him because I was just told that nobody really supposed to have communications with each other right now. So,
Hey, I'll tell you the reason why she ain't post him. Because a lawyer probably told her, your Young Thug's sister, and that nigga is a witness. You posting that nigga, we don't want somebody to say later, there's witness intimidation. Okay? But still, you're speaking on him, so it still defeats the purpose. And obviously, she's not going to say nothing like Gunna is a snitch, because if she says that, Thug definitely not getting out. Because they're going to be like, yo, you got your family members calling our witness a snitch. Duh.
I don't want to mess up his. So why would I just go and post it? You know, like y'all got, bro. Like y'all destroy people's lives, and can y'all please stop saying that people's ready and people this and that? Like it's not making.
Okay. Listen, all we could do really, and I mean, you gotta like. I know hip hop cares about snitching. But if the people get snitching was supposed to be like the scarlet letter. So it's really on behalf of the people that are getting told on, you shame the person doing the telling. But why shame the nigga if you think Gunna's doing the telling, why even shame him if the sister of the nigga being told on is saying, don't shame him. Leave that nigga alone. Which to Lil Duval's point, he said, listen, y'all shouldn't call Gunna a snitch until Thug says it, whether he says it ever or not. Until Thug says it, whether he says it ever or not. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Somebody said, how Kelsey ain't snitch? How Kelsey not a snitch, but Gunna a snitch? Well, I mean, that's clearly different. You know what I mean? If Kelsey was charged with the shooting with Tory.
It's at trial.
Okay, it's back.
Those records were obtained through an order from Superior Court.
Yo, she's still going?
For district attorney. They contended that the seizure of their records without probable cause was a violation of their Fourth Amendment rights and that the records should have been suppressed. The court in Kessler found that like bank records, telephone, toll, and building records are not owned or possessed by the defendant, but are business records belonging to the telephone company. The court further stated that the cases cited by the defendant, United States versus Baxter, Katz versus the United States, recognize the right.
This stream is fucking horrible.
Right of privacy in the toll and billing records of the telephone company. The court went on to say that neither defendant, as one user of the telephone, nor the other defendant, as its lessee, had standing to object to the production of these records by the telephone company. Further, Your Honor, Regis, R-E-G-I-S-T-E.
One more time, R-E-G what?
I-S-T-E.
Okay.
Versus the state. And that is 292.
These are producers' reactions to the samples in the producer growth kit.
Yeah, okay, it's over.
It's a 2012 case that is directly.
By the way, Mantis on YouTube, thank you for the 20 donation. He says, Merry Christmas, Zach. Appreciate you.
Telephone billing records are business records owned by the telephone company, not the defendant. As a result, defendants generally lack standing to challenge the release of such records under the Fourth Amendment because they do not have a reasonable expectation of privacy in records belonging to someone else. And that's a pen site of 249 Georgia 462 at 460.
So now they're going over phone records saying, yo, Young Thug's lawyers trying to get phone records tossed out, but they're saying no, those phone records came from came from T-Mobile, nigga, and unless T-Mobile is challenging it, we could keep it. And basically, even though you have a reasonable expectation of privacy in your home and on your phone for those calls, unless there's a search warrant or some wiretap, the phone records is actually not yours, so you can't argue that. That's what she's trying to say. Now, let's see what the judge says.
Expectation of privacy in the cell phone records of the Hertz Corporation. He has no...
Remember, they're saying that Young Thug rented the car from Hertz that was ultimately used to drive to the location to kill one named Nut, okay? That individual apparently was very close with YFN Lucci. That started a whole beef between YFN and YSL. YFN is also, there's 16 members or 15 that actually are charged with the Racketeering Act, and there's 28, well now 27 because, 26 because Gunna and the co-founder just slid out of that bitch.
Corporation wanted to contest the release of its own documents. The Hertz Corporation and only the Hertz Corporation and all that they released, I will also make clear, it's not at all anything comparable to information contained in cell site location data that a person has within a cell phone that they keep on their person and that moves around with them.
By the way, somebody made a valid point. We do have some info on some paperwork for Gunna. Now, granted, paperwork don't mean you automatically snitch, but apparently this is the plea paperwork that is out there for Gunna. And it says Gunna has agreed to a certain couple of things. I mean, you heard him pretty much verbally agree to it when he accepted the plea and he later signed the plea. But here we go. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Paperwork would probably be, where's the paperwork? I might be scrolling down too far. Yes, I think I'm too far with it. Let's see if I can find it. Anything with Gunna, first pick, paperwork right here. Bingo. This is the paperwork, the pertinent things. So we see 1 year being commuted. His 6 or 7 months commuted to 1 year, time served. The remainder is suspended, which is 5 years, okay? Next, we see this is a special conditions. The parties agree that upon completion of the special conditions enumerated in 3B below, the suspended sentence will terminate by consent order. Okay? So they're saying that the only way you could get this consent, the only way you could get this get his sentence really terminated and also get the suspended sentence in place, he has to, if called by any party in this case, you will testify truthfully. Chat, I don't even know, like, we do love Gunna, but I don't even know what we're talking about here. Like, nigga, if it's in your plea agreement, if called by any party in this case, you will testify truthfully. No, come on now. Like, I think, some people are politicking it. I think all y'all want to hear is, yo, he ain't get up on the stand yet. Well, nigga, he ain't get a chance to. The trial ain't start. This is pre-trial shit we're hearing. This is all pre-trial shit. So he ain't get it. I will bet with anybody, if anybody takes this shit to trial, which, by the way, ironically, all of them, or YSL had a song called Take It to Trial. I guarantee none of them going to take it to trial. But if anybody takes it to trial, Gunna's on the stand. Facts. And Gunna's on the stand, and he has to point niggas out. That's what it is. He has to. Has to. It's in black and white, or actually red right here, nigga. He says, if you're called by any party, There's 26 other people that have to resolve their case. If 26 other people don't plead out and any of them take it to trial, he, by signing this document, has to take the stand. I don't care what y'all say, he got to take the stand. It's right here. I know how to read English. If called by any party in this case, you will testify truthfully. But you reserve the right to assert your Fifth Amendment privilege, which, by the way, that's about self-incrimination, not incriminating another motherfucker. So, hey, if anything that you haven't told us, so he doesn't have no immunity deal, if you haven't told us about anything, or we didn't find out about anything, we only charge you with this one thing. If you get up on there and somebody asks you a question like, yo, like say the prosecutor said, did you used to smoke crack with him and sell crack with him? He's not charged for selling crack. He could evoke his Fifth Amendment because that would incriminate himself for selling crack. But if the question is, yo, say he never sold crack and he knows that guy sold crack. Hey, did that guy ever sell crack? Gunner has to say, yes, he used to fucking sell crack. That's what happens, bro. Bro, it's right here. Agree to perform 500 hours of community service, complete at least 350, a substantial portion which will require you speak to young men and young women about the hazards. Yep, this is a TI-like plea. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not calling nobody no snitch because I'm not in that realm to even care about people who are snitching. I'm just telling you what this fucking document is saying. This is basically, yo, TI, go record a commercial. Except they're not telling Gunner to record a Crime Stoppers commercial. They're saying, go talk to all the kids and tell them, don't do what you did. Don't join gangs. Sorry. He says you're going to be talking about the morality of gangs and gang violence and the decay that it causes the community. You agree that community service locations and it shall be determined by the Office of Fulton County District Attorney. Okay? There's this other part. It says that he's also a first offender. It says he can't have any guns. He can't have any guns during the term of the sentence or any time thereafter unless your right to do so is restored, and you cannot commit any criminal acts. And here it is. It seems like he's a first offender, and hey, you could say, well, he probably won't have to tell, whatever, but I think the only reason why he was even eligible for this is because he didn't have that many. I don't think he had no charges like that. It says this is a first offender conditional discharge. First offender conditional discharge. Yeah. There it goes. And the defendant had to sign here. If you're firearms, you're convicted of blah, 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 whatever. Okay. For him to get out, he had to sign here. And it says Sergio Kitchens. Now, y'all can make your mind up on that. I don't want to tell y'all what to think. Anyway, let's get back to this.
About the state's method of obtaining the records from hers. So I would ask that.
Let me deal as a preliminary matter, threshold matter. If that's the case, the records, your client would not have standing. I would grant the state's motion as to that, as to the Kurt's records.
Understood.
Okay, so is there any other basis that for asking for at this point in time?
So they're saying that the records that Young Thug rented the car that was used in a murder, they're still keeping.
Mr. Sprinkle, if you allow me to briefly proffer.
Okay, you're going to proffer as to why you need to call Mr. Sprinkle.
Yes, because I think that's where it starts. So what happens, Your Honor, is Mr. Williams is wrongly targeted by law enforcement for 10 years, since he's 21 years of age. And during those 10-year period, there's a systematic abuse of process by the people who claim that other people break the rules, and that's the District Attorney's Office of Fulton County. And what I'd like to call Mr. Sprinkle and prove to this honorable court is as follows. First is what you just heard from. Law enforcement officers and the District Attorney's Office is aware that the Honorable Judge Newkirk found that law enforcement had no right to go into Mr. Williams' home in July 15, 2015, take devices. The prosecution does not restore those devices. You already ruled, I know, Judge Newkirk ruled, but that's part of the issues. What right does the prosecution, the District Attorney's Office, have to keep that property and then to send it to sell Bright without a warrant and have it searched. I want the court to consider that. Then I want the court to consider the following. The fact that the district attorney's office did not go back to a judge and say, we have this property, we're supposed to give it back. We are doing another investigation, we want another search warrant. They just go and sell Bright. I would introduce through Mr. Sprinkle, says, as a courtesy of the district attorney's office, we're going to look at this device. I would like the court to have that in its breast when deciding whether there's extreme prosecutorial misconduct. Then what happens is grand jury subpoenas. I'm not moving to suppress anything at this point. I'm not waiving any argument, but I'm not moving to suppress. But this is how the grand jury subpoenas were given out in this case. And it's not only Hertz. It is every grand jury subpoena. I've attached them to the motion. And what the grand jury subpoena shows is that from his office, presumably, Mr. Sprinkle is on every one of these. He has a district attorney seal.
Yo, chat, real quick, not breaking this. This is exactly why I had to sit that thing. I can't read it verbatim. Why my mama gonna text me and said, she says, hey, she said, why your auntie called me and told me you're on TMZ and says you're defending yourself against, let me just leave it alone. You know what I mean? I told you I can't make headlines with certain people, bro. Like my family looking at me crazy. Like, they don't care about no other headline. Wait, what the heck? You know what I mean? It's like my family's like, wait, what's going on here? You and some dude named Saucy Santana? Wait, hold on, what's going on? Yo, they don't care about nothing else. We from Jamaica. They're like, yo, why is you and that person's name even like I'm like, you see why I had to mama set me straight. Yo, my mom probably wish I get my ass whipped by a little baby more than me going back and forth with a nigga with a beard and a BBL named Saucy. Listen, for real, I can't disgrace my Jamaican heritage. I gotta chill. All right, back to the NC Dillon chat. Hold on real quick. Hold on. We're gonna get to it. Here we go. Let's get into this. Okay. Judge also said he would allow prosecutors to bring in text Kelsey sent Megan the night of the shooting that read, should I get a scan at urgent care? My chest is hurting, my left side, my back, and my neck hurt. But that's from the fighting, and him dragging me out the car by my hair. Oh shit, what the fuck? I guess, so Kelsey texted Meg saying that. My chest hurt, my left side. Okay. Defense tried to exclude it, calling it late discovery, but prosecutors said it was critical considering Kelsey has disavowed her September statement that Tory assaulted her and pulled her hair. The most important thing is that the trial is a search for the truth. I guess they swap out district attorney now. The district attorney or assistant district attorney Bott says, Dr. Lee Haruno, the chief resident orthopedic surgeon at Cedars-Sinai, walked jurors through x-rays showing the wounds to Megan Fee. He said that identified 4 metallic bullet fragments embedded in her feet, and they removed what they could during emergency surgery that night. Okay, I think we got this. Let me know if anybody else tweets, but we back to this, man.
And the court's inquiry review is, what reasonable expectation of privacy do you have, or standing do you have in these records?
This is not the issue. This issue goes to dismissal of an indictment for prosecutorial misconduct. Mr. Williams was indicted. I'm not trying to suppress the evidence based upon your ruling and the case law. What happens now is there was such egregious misconduct by the district attorney's office.
So you're saying you'd like to examine Mr. Sprinkle for his motives, or as to why he sought these particular documents in his prosecution?
I want to subpoena, well, I've had subpoena. I want to call Deputy District Attorney Mr. Sprinkle because I want to ask him why he believes he had any right, which I'm contending violates Mr. Williams' rights to due process as stated in State versus Lampel, LAMPL, 296 Georgia, 829. It's in Division 2, 2015 case. It's in my motion entitled Mr. Williams' motion to dismiss indictment and or motion to suppress evidence filed on 11/3/2022. And what the Supreme Court of Georgia held was it is an extreme remedy to dismiss an indictment or account thereof.
Real quick, I see someone in the chat asking one of my subs, RT No Class, update me on what happened with the cell phone. The cell phone's out of here. They're now arguing about a very important piece of evidence. They're trying to connect Young Thug as some kingpin who took out a car from Hertz, gave it to, like, you know what I mean, the basically foot runners and say, yo, you niggas go do a murder, okay? That's what the prosecutor believe. That's why they believe that car was connected to the murder of Nut, because allegedly that was a car used. They're trying to suppress that, but it doesn't look like the judge going for this. They did go for the cell phone. The cell phone's out of here, where he was talking all this, yo, we young slime niggas gotta die for the cause or sacrifice, all that shit.
It has nothing to do with this motion. This motion is not a motion to suppress. It is a motion based upon a violation of due process rights, because everyone here, I assume, joined the motion. Everyone here is suffering from the state of Georgia's unlawful.
Right now, they're trying to do a pretty much a motion or argument to dismiss the whole case, saying that the prosecutors have just taken too much cuts in the corners that this should even be a case, and they have violated everybody's rights. They should throw this whole thing out. I think this is going to get shot down.
296, Georgia, 892, Division 2, 770 Southeast 2D, 629, 2015. I had the honor of representing Mr. Lampel. On that case, it went to Court of Appeals of Georgia, then the state sought certiorari, and that's how the Supreme Court got that case. He's the mayor of Mara. Mr. Lampel's the mayor of Mara. Okay. And that's why I would like to call Mr. Sprinkle, because he's sending out, under the auspices of a grand jury subpoena, with the district attorney seal, without the clerk seal, outside our state. They've taken evidence from Mr. Williams' home, not returning it, searching it, regardless of Judge Newkirk's finding. And then, Your Honor, what I'd like you to consider, and Mr. Sprinkle would be asked, there's a recording in a grand jury, and it happens on June 15, 2018. Mr. Sprinkle and law enforcement officers who were present in this courtroom subpoenaed a woman named Ms. Morton, M-O-R-T-O-N. They brought her before the grand jury in Fulton County. They didn't like that she wasn't talking with them. They put her under oath. And they said, it's Mr. Sprinkle is said on recording right at the beginning. It's at 10 seconds of the recording. He says, because in Georgia, it's not an investigative grand jury unless the court deems a special purpose grand jury. It's not federal court where you could do an investigation. The state of Georgia, you need a proposed bill of indictment already against the person and what the charges are. State of Georgia versus Brian Steele, here are the charges. What Mr. Sprinkle tells the grand jury is, this is not an indictment under consideration. We are just here to hear Ms. Morton testify. That's not valid. So I'd like to ask Mr. Sprinkle what right he had to use the grand jury as a district attorney's investigative tool. Those are my five issues. The search warrant, the search of the devices, which we already ruled. Why did that happen? Why did the subpoenas come without a clerk? Third one is, why would the subpoenas go outside of the state of Georgia? The fourth one is, why wouldn't you return the property? And the fifth one is, why would you bring a human being before a grand jury when you don't have a real bill of indictment, and you tell the grand jury that this is not a bill of indictment under consideration? What right does the district attorney have? And that's why I subpoenaed the young man.
Okay. Now,
Your Honor, the defendant still has not addressed the issue of standing as to any of the...
He's indicted.
No, Your Honor. The conduct that he is complaining of, he has to have been agreed. He has to have an expectation as it relates to that conduct.
I think that's what he's asking me to test. I think that's what he's asking me to test, and he's also saying, hey, he's an aggrieved person because he's under indictment for these particular charges.
And Your Honor, if I may, I don't know why Mr. Steele cited Lample in his brief, because it actually supports the state's position in this case. In Lample, a special purpose grand jury investigated the defendant and subpoenaed that defendant. In this case, it isn't even that the defendant was subpoenaed to testify. He is talking about a person who didn't even yield information that was used against him. He is asserting that actions that he has no right to complain of should be somehow used as a basis for dismissing a lawful indictment against this defendant. So he is, I guess, attempting to leverage the court's ruling previously into something that simply doesn't exist. He does not have a right to complain of the actions he asserts were unlawful or improper. He simply doesn't. And he hasn't addressed his being indicted alone does not give him standing to argue or to complain about the fact that Ms. Morton was taken before a grand jury, or that a subpoena was sent to a corporation or a company or an entity that the defendant has no expectation of privacy in. He simply doesn't get past that initial threshold. And by continuing to fold one argument into the other, he attempts to subvert what the court's
Why does shit keep happening, chat? Anyway, we here, man. Let me know if we're getting any other updates. They're trying. I don't think this is... they're trying to get the whole case dismissed. Man, the prosecutors need to stop playing. Obviously, they got to fight every little thing, but they need to just drop the bomb. We got mad snitches on
Supreme Court. They've been indicted, and when the Georgia Supreme Court says, nope, you lack standing, it being indicted doesn't afford them standing to argue about matters that they have no right to complain about. And so he has bundled up a whole bunch of matters as they relate to other entities. Frankly, with respect to Hertz or any other entity, they can simply give us the documents we requested them.
Hold on, we got some updates from Megan Cuniff. She said thread broke, but here comes info about the detective upcoming testimony. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, I think we read that already. We're in the hallway, prepared to get in. There's another line. People blah, blah, blah. Reporters noticed that this morning that no one from the public was allowed inside the courtroom during the outside of jury discussion about the detective and other evidence issues. Wow. So no one from the public was allowed inside the courtroom. One issue the judge is considering is whether the prosecutor should allow them to play the entire 80-minute. Oh, my God. They're desperate. They're desperate. They're trying to play the keep in mind, this happened 2 years ago. They just interviewed Kelsey in September, and because Kelsey didn't say what they want to say, they're like, we got to play her whole recording. Obviously they recorded it. We want to play the 80-minute recording from her in September based on questions Tory Lane's lawyer asked in her cross that the DA said unfairly questions the DA approach. So basically, they want to say, we're down to play the shit to show y'all that there hasn't been prosecutorial misconduct in fucking trying to, get her to testify. Like, we really thought that she was telling the truth at first. She's the one switching up. We ain't pressure her at all. You know what I mean? So, obviously, they're going to play it to see if they're trying to coax her or trying to pressure her, like, you have to testify, or if you don't testify and Tory says you did it and we don't get him, we're gonna get you. That's interesting. All right, cool. Let me see what else. Yeah, I think that's the latest. Okay, all right. Back to this Young Thug shit. Let's see what's going on. All right. Look like they're either taking a break or something. I think the judge has left the. I don't think I see the judge at the seat here. Maybe he is. You guys could. Actually, I think he still is. He's looking at the computer. You can tell me if he starts speaking again. Again, I think this case has just gotten incredibly still difficult. They scored a major win today, so salute to Thug. I think Thug's lawyers is doing as the best they can. I don't believe they're going to go to a trial eventually. I think they're going to try to fight this for as long as they can to somehow weaken the case as much as they can to get a favorable plea from the prosecution. But I don't see them going to trial. And the reason I don't see them going to trial, and by the way, I think they're playing a time game. I think the more and more time goes on, the more and more defendants the prosecution is going to flip as witnesses, whether it's going to be overtly niggas who are saying, yo, that nigga did it, or a nigga be like, yo, well, I'm down to tell you the truth about some shit. They're going to be jacking up that witness list, and I think they've clearly identified that Thug is the main person they kind of want in that. They will not be happy if Thug gets anything below 10, and right now, based on how his lawyers are going about it, the longer this takes, the more they're probably going to be unwilling to give him, oh, yeah, time served and do the rest out of jail. I think they'll probably push towards, no, nigga, we need some significant time. And just off the fact that this is a public issue now, like, they don't want to look like they've been unfair or biased or they don't know what they're doing or they're stupid. So now they're kind of dug in. Thug's lawyers are dug in. And we're going to see if this goes to trial. You know, YSL had a song called Take It to Trial. I feel like I bet 100,000 this shit don't go to trial. Why the hell would you go to trial with this shit? They got all type of data. They got cell phone records. By the time they're done painting the picture, they're definitely going to get you guilty of at least being in a gang, right? They're going to be like, yo, he's at least guilty of the gang. And if they really get you good, they're going to be like, you've called all the murders, right? And now if they got you as the head honcho who called and ordered all the murders, even if, and I think some of them guys is going to go down on murder, right? Even if you don't motherfucking, even if you don't get charged directly or you're not on those bills or that those particular charges for murder, I think they're going to sentence you to some significant time. Significant. And again, I think at this point, 10 years is light. What I think about Young Thug's sister saying it, I can't say she's saying it to say, oh, he ain't snitch and we cool with him. I think she's saying, yo, listen, right now, Thug knows he can't say nothing to Gunna. He can't put out no message in the air to say Gunna's a snitch. He can't do nothing. And to be honest, he also would rather, you know, Gunna's still in the gray area where maybe Gunna says, you know what, fuck it, like I still have a rap career if I don't ever take the stand. So who knows? This gets to trial, and Gunna says, I ain't taking a stand. I ain't taking a stand versus my brother. You get what I mean? So they're not just trying to blow it up now by just making, yo, he is snitch. You know what I mean? It's right now Gunna took a plea, but pretty much it's only intent, like at least on the prosecution side, it's only intent to testify. He ain't testified yet. With 6ix9ine, they saw that nigga up there. Or actually, most of them just plead out. As soon as they see that, they plead out. The only difference is niggas like Shotty just didn't have any chance. And also niggas like Shotty didn't have like a big bankroll like Thug. Thug is ironically the top of the ladder and the richest nigga who's on the trial. So everything falls on his shoulder. React to Charleston White talking about Gunna? That would be great. Okay, this went out again. What Charleston White say? You know Charleston White gonna say some good shit. Charleston White, Gunna.
Family will love. I'm doing something great. I've been doing since been pimping. And setting the record straight. I'm gonna make it cool. Boy, we got Gunna, one of the biggest rappers, goddammit, on earth, that agreed to cooperate and stood before the court and said, Your Honor, wanna make this clear. Y'all a gang, right? Yes, ma'am. And you did wrong, right? Yes, ma'am. What anybody else can say that's in the gang? We not no gang. We're a rap group. We're a rap label now. The boys before you that was in this rap label that you trying to say y'all a gang. And people died in the name of this gang. Yeah, that's your ass, Mr. Rap Man. I want to see, and one thing I want to say, y'all ain't Lil Boosie, we need you to speak on T.I. Lil Boosie, we need you to speak on Toe Tapping Tippy.
What?
Toe Tapping Tippy.
Nah, stop.
We want to hear what you got to say, Boosie. Big Facts. Big Facts Podcast, we want to hear what y'all got to say. 85 South, DC Young Fly, we want to hear what y'all got to say about your boy Toe Tapping Tip. Now, the boy done got away. Y'all forgot the nigga got caught with all them X pills, him and his bra, remember? Remember him and his bitch got caught with the motherfucking X pills while he was on the federal probation after the guns. Y'all don't remember that, do y'all? How did that go away? Toe Tapping Tippy. And from what I hear, them girls is still on his ass by them putting his foot in their pussy. Now a woman in the world won't no motherfucking foot in the pussy. Now I hear some fisting going on, but that's some old sick cave sadistic white boy shit. Putting your foot on the pussy, that don't make nobody come. Nobody gets to come with the feet tapping on the pussy. That ain't pleasurable at all. And she might get a gangrene, a fungus infection, cause feet is nasty. Yeah, motherfucker get gangrene on that pussy from them feet. Nigga done something wrong in the motherfucker. Some niggas say it's alright to put your mouth, but all I know is dick and pussy go together, nothing else. Dick and pussy go together, nothing else. Alright? That's the lesson for today. Dick and pussy go together and nothing else.
Mr. Bailey's, not Mr. Bailey, but Mr. Sprinkle, you're challenging
tell T.I. take the
by
fight.
way of the evidence that you are presenting, or that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to this.
Yeah,
nigga.
man.
This
Shout
nigga's
out, yeah, man. Say, I got some niggas send me a prayer, $400 prayer, motherfucking me. The whole goddamn shit. Say it was an old nigga in front of the road looking up at me, had 3 women with video right here, and I be looking at the motherfucking video like that. Nigga pulls the trigger and kills somebody in the process of them stealing starter jackets. I thought we were YSL. I thought we would shoot them up, bang, bang, kill them niggas, shoot them niggas, come back and spin the block again and shoot an innocent victim, come back and spin the block again and shoot his little sister, come back and spin the block again, now we shoot him finally. So now we done all this. All us is in this together. Remember, we gang, y'all. What happened to a plea bargain is I'm agreeing to tell on us, because by me telling on me, I'm telling on us, y'all. Free Thugger, I hope they give him at least 10 years. I want to see, do he really like wearing dresses? Yeah, I want to see if Young Thug really like wearing dresses, because out here he was painting his motherfucking fingernail, he was wearing dresses, he was giving us mixed signals as if he was gay, and he didn't know he was gay. Let's see if he gay. Now we can finally see if Young Thug gay. See, a jailhouse don't bring out the gayness.
I'm gonna be honest though. I don't think Young Thug got broken by jail, ironically. So I really gotta believe that whatever Thug was talking about, I'm not saying he was living it, but he understood the consequences of it. You get what I'm saying? Now Gunna, I think Gunna, I don't even know how Gunna found a new chick in jail. That shit's crazy to me. You could tell Gunna couldn't wait to come out. Gunna found a new chick in jail. This thing ain't even want to come out single to find a new chick. He found one in jail. That's crazy. Nigga, that's crazy as hell. Gunna was already lining some shit up in jail because you know he wasn't. He probably was telling her, man, them folks told me I'm about to do 10 years. Nigga, I'm about to be out here in 2 weeks. I don't know what they talking about. Shorty, send me another picture of that BBL. Remember, you can't show the pussy because you got to come through the mail and, you know, the wardens be hating and shit like that. But I'll be out here in 2 weeks. Fuck that. Fuck that. Matter of fact, yo, where you want to go for New Year's Eve? Fuck that.
I have to go to that penitentiary. That penitentiary, they got some ways to bring out that shit out them boys down there. Say, no, we need that boy to go down there and see if he really thugger. See if he hugger. See, yeah, we need to see if that boy gonna be down there and stand on them rap lyrics. Or if they go get him down there and see if they can paint his fingernails and get him to wear some of them dresses that they like wearing when they put the sheet over the window. Yeah. So we don't want to hear nothing about freeing no motherfucking thug. We already see the rest of them ain't tough. We see Gunna and the rest of these boys ain't tough. They ain't even been gone a year. They already done broke weak and took the plea agreement. They were supposed to do like them goddamn white boy bikers out of Waco. Y'all hear me? They were supposed to do like them white boy bikers out of Waco.
That is true, man. When it comes to solidarity, man. When it comes to solidarity, clearly, like, yo, them dudes out of Waco, they stood together. Niggas, man, you know what it is, bro? Let's keep it real about, like, telling and all that shit. Bro, people got too many things going on for them, bro. People got families. People are walking companies. Gunna's a walking company. He got his mama, he got, like all his relatives relying on him. He got situations going on, bro. Like, all that real nigga shit, stop, bro.
Had a shootout with the police at that motherfucking Twin Peaks restaurant. Not one white boy said a word. They didn't take a plea or nothing. People died, police got shot, police killed people and everything. This made national news. Not one white boy biker said a word. They didn't take a plea agreement. So I'm starting to think that white boy motorcycle bikers is way tougher than gangster rappers. Yeah. I want to see if somebody go fuck. Say, listen, if anybody can bring that hoe up out of you, the prison conditions can bring it up out of you. So I recommend every nigga think he tough. I recommend a stay in prison. Yeah, I recommend a stay in prison for your motherfucking ass. Nigga, you think you tough? Okay, we got somewhere for you now. If you come out of here tough, boy, you tough. Yeah, if you can come out of here tough, Junior, boy, you tough. You can rap however you want to rap. You can come whoop whoever you want to whoop. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Yeah, I know some niggas been whooping ass ever since they come out of prison. They whoop their ass in prison. They whoop ass out of prison. Now, they don't just whoop everybody. They give ass whoopings to words worthy and warranted. I'm so happy. This is a great day in the black community. Gunna is out of prison. I never thought I would be happy to say y'all, Gunna is out of prison. Now, I'm glad he got out by telling. I think that was smart, Gunna. I'm a Gunner fan now. I'm a goddamn Gunner fan now, boy. That's all y'all finna hear in my motherfucking CD is Gunner. I'm gonna tell. That day, Gunner. I'm gonna tell, nigga. What? I'm the new Gunner. Yeah, that's the one. Gunner. I'm gonna tell, nigga.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Charleston White too funny, man. Charleston White is one of the funniest niggas in the game, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on, let me get back to this shit.
That I said you didn't have any standing to see what Mr. Sprinkle, in fact, did present to that grand jury and what he told them. So
I actually won't do that. What I'd like to do is, why did Mr. Sprinkle serve grand jury subpoenas? Why did he do the process the way he did? I'm not going to ask anything about what happened in grand jury, except I have that recording that was given to us in discovery.
Was it discovery?
Yes. Okay. Will not ask anything about what occurred in grand jury except what was given to Mr. Williams in discovery by the state of Georgia. It's a recording.
West, do we have a copy of the motion to suppress? Yeah, I'm sorry, motion to quash.
It's going down, people. Young Thug fight for his life. And currently, Gunna is taking like 1,500 whippets right now, man. Who y'all rather be? Young Thug in court or Wanna, who is right now nestling his head in the ass crack of a IG model with her oversized body? I ain't gonna lie. It's at the point Young Thug might have to find a nigga to tell him. He might have to find some other devious shit to tell him. Be like, yo, I thought I was bad. I know something worse. Let me out. Come on. Yo, you know that's the game, right? Be like, oh, word, y'all want me? I know a nigga who do some shit worse than me. Get him and let me go. I found Gunna's ting too. Y'all want me to bring up Gunna's ting? How Gunna bag this in jail? Y'all niggas is free walking around, going to the gym. Y'all outside every day. Y'all can't even get bitches like this. Gunna was locked down on 23-1. He get an hour to shower, an hour to shave. He get an hour to shower, shave, workout, and call his family, and he still bagged a bad bitch. What excuse you got? Gunna bagged a bad one while he was locked down for 23 fucking hours. What fucking excuse you got that you fucking with 2s and 3s or beating your dick every day with no pussy? Let me see if I can find her.
I ruled upon the issue of the all right, I think I'm back on at this point in time. In terms of the motion to quash the business records, I'm also going to grant the motion to quash the subpoenas, both subpoenas 1 and 2. The court is of the opinion that of the relevancy of these particular records, but also they're protected by work product under 24-5-501. And for those reasons, I'm going to deny. I'm going to grant the state's motion to quash on those two subpoenas. All right. Anything else?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I have some proffers I need to deal with.
Hold on, Chad. I'm gonna find it.
Mr.
Chad, if y'all got an ad name, send it to me. But I saw it earlier.
Mr. Hoover?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, before we do that, I just want to bring the court's attention. Mr. Kendrick has voted to suppress.
Oh, yeah, we got her.
On the record, we have a witness here. I've spoken to counsel. He doesn't intend to go forward on that motion.
He does not intend?
We were hoping we could release our witness who's been here with us.
Yes. Any objection, counsels?
No, just to be clear, we're not withdrawing the motion. We would just like to argue that on another time.
And your name again, I'm sorry.
Doug Weinstein.
So right here.
P-I-N-S-T-E-I-N.
Mr. Weinstein, what is your client, what's your client's name again?
My boy Gunner.
Kendrick.
Holy. Fresh BBL.
Well, you know, folks, I like to be able to accommodate everybody, but you saw what happened this morning, okay? We had a technology glitch that nobody could have foreseen, I should say, and we're kind of a little bit behind. So we're a little bit behind in terms of just being able to properly conduct court.
Yo, chat, Gunner bagged her in jail, nigga. What's your fucking excuse? Gunner bagged her in jail, nigga. He only had 20 minutes to like surf the Wild Wild Web, nigga, or what's it called, World Wide Web, nigga. That nigga using Netscape in jail, nigga, and he still bagged her.
Oh, okay, all right. So your motion is suppressed. All right, we're gonna. Okay, all right. I understand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm with you. Okay, yes. All right.
Your Honor.
You give a mouse a cookie. What is it you want, Mr. Sharp?
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to make sure that I respect the record. I know that you have not ruled on the motion.
It's not your turn yet.
Oh, son!
You jumping in front of Mr. Steele now?
No, I am not jumping in front of him.
Okay, all right. What is it you'd like to tell him?
Well, I filed the exact same motion that Mr. Steele filed.
And your client is, sir?
Stillwell.
Mr. Stillwell, okay.
And that was filed on November 16th. And
the motion to dismiss the indictment?
Motion to dismiss the indictment.
And motion to suppress evidence. Do you wish to table yours at this point in time?
I have not heard you rule on the actual motion, just on the subpoenas. And I would just point out to Your Honor that our argument is not based on any Fourth Amendment violation that would require standing, but rather prosecutorial misconduct, which I believe as citizens of the United States, we all have standing to challenge. And Mr. Stillwell, who has been indicted and investigated in part by illegally issued subpoenas.
I'm going to deny the motion to dismiss the indictment. Okay?
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure it was on the record that I, too, have filed that motion and
Okay. All right, I'm with you. Okay, all right. So to the extent that's been ruled upon, that's fine. Anything else?
Attention, Judge, just while we're here for the record.
Yes, Mr. Menez.
I have failed to adopt the motion as writing, but I just want to respect the record that that's on me, and that was ineffective. But everyone on board also adopts Mr. Steele and Mr. Sharp's motion.
All right. Well, you probably should reduce that to writing, but Ms. Rosenwasser, if you will include that in the order, please, madam.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm going to, in the motion to suppress and motion to quash, okay?
And Your Honor, if you allow me to incorporate Mr. Steele's argument into the record on behalf of Mr. Steele as well, so I do not need to cite to the same cases. And
yes.
Thank you.
So we'll include you as well. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Okay.
By the way, it's nearing the time when there should be another break in the Tory and Meg case, so please let me know. I'll switch over.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have the issue of the proffer that you'd like to complete at this point in time? Do I have I was going to ask you to complete that issue of the proffer And then also, if there's anybody else who we still need to deal with the issue of the proffer.
I'm not sure which proper.
Ms. Rosenwald, you want to address that, please?
Your Honor, I believe the court is referring to your continued, Mr. Hoover's continued representation of Mr. Someone after you were disqualified as to Mr. Blaylock to see if Mr. Blaylock was on.
I don't have too much just straight court documents on here. You know what I mean? We got to talk about some real shit, too. Apparently, Bobby Schmurder had some stuff to say about Gunna. Bobby Schmurder, Gunna. This is crazy. This is today. They said this is what Bobby might have said.
Fuck you want these little niggas? Doing this is kindergarten. The fuck you want you? Get kicked out of school since first grade, second grade. What with these little niggas? This is crazy, huh? Shit's fucking my head up. So yo, free Thugger though, bro. Somebody give me his shit. Somebody give me his shit. I want to write him. Somebody send his name. I want to write him.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? Send me his name. We want to write him. We want to send him some money. I need everybody to write Thugger right now and send him some love, bro. I need everybody to send, you know what I'm saying? I need everybody to write Thugger right now and send my niggas some fucking love, man. Y'all niggas send some love, man. Y'all niggas send some fucking love. I know what it is being down in there, man. He know what it is. How would you came home from OG? Yo, see what I'm saying? A couple niggas on this bitch up came on. We ain't like it. We ain't like it now. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Nah. You know what I'm saying? I don't like none of that. I don't like none of that. Flex, what up, nigga? What's going on with the town, Flex? Fuck is going on with the town nowadays, man? What's going on outside, man? These little niggas crazy, homie. I can't do it. They got the other little niggas. They got the other little niggas jacking it. You know, like my little nephew. They don't know what the fuck is real or not. They just all these little niggas out here just These not for me. You know that's for y'all. So I'm gonna jump on y'all niggas' faces, homie. Gumbo, busy. Where you at, nigga?
What the fuck is Bobby talking about?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
What's the nigga? Yo, somebody look him up. Google him, son. Well, that's a bitch ass nigga. You bitch all day, nigga. All day, nigga. Why y'all talk that shit? Fuck the shit out there, bitch. Who is this nigga? Who is this bitch ass nigga right here?
Hello? Yeah.
You
Get that
this
nigga.
bitch ass nigga. Get the fuck off my live, you bitch ass niggas. Fuck you. Fuck's wrong with y'all niggas? And I ain't smoke no weed all day neither, nigga. On game. No weed, no liquor, no drugs. Nothing, baby.
I ain't gonna lie.
Fuck wrong with you?
Crazy on
That's why I smoke weed, baby. Cause yeah, right now. You heard? The youngest baddest nigga. The youngest baddest rapper in New York. We heard right now. I'm talking for the city. We heard right now. Free Thug, what?
It's Jeffrey Lamar Williams.
Yeah, somebody give him thing.
Yeah.
Get that, write that down.
Jeffrey Lamar Williams.
Yeah, we're gonna write cuz today. We're gonna write cuz. We're gonna write cuz when I go back. Send bro some money. Show him some money. You know what I'm saying? Oh, send me a little 2 band.
Nigga, click close. What the fuck? I think I'm about to click close. What the hell?
How these blogs be promoting these shits and all this other shit. We slap shit out one of these niggas. Send me a little 2 band, son. Man, sure they got some good commissary shit. Pop shit. Hip hop shit whack, nigga. And then the fucking, all the blogs, all these other bitch ass niggas that be running behind these blogs, be promoting these shits, and all this other shit. We slap shit out one of these niggas, bro. For real, bro. Yeah, shit nasty, bro. This shit nasty nowadays, bro. Then the cops are chasing niggas around, doing a whole bunch of dick sucking shit. Nigga won't let nigga make his money. Fuck wrong with y'all niggas, man. This shit's crazy, huh? Whoa. Oh, all this shit out here, bro. And then the fuck.
Yo, Bobby sounded like he on his Kodak shit. Like he's just too real for the industry right now. What y'all think?
Fucking blogs, all these niggas that be promoting that shit. They start seeing who the fuck run these blogs, who the fuck run the shade room. We want to know who to run shade room. We want these people's faces now. That's what I want to start. We want to see these people's faces. We want to see all these niggas.
I ain't never seen the shade room face. I ain't gonna lie.
I seen one of them bitches in the fucking store. Bitch gonna tell me how, Bobby. Get your ass on my face, bitch. What the fuck you talking about, bitch? You always posting some dumb shit. You ain't gonna post no positive shit. Your fucking ass on my face, bitch. About some high, Bobby. Hey, slap shit out that bitch, man. I ain't gonna slap her though. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting too much money. If I was 18, I would slap that bitch. But I ain't 18 no more. I ain't 18 years old. I ain't gonna put my hands on nobody. I can't put my hands on nobody. These niggas out here like, ah! Yo, I put my hands on them. They were like, ah! I'm like, they were like, ah! My mom was like, I told you, black dumbass. I told you, stupid ass Bobby. You don't fucking listen the first time. You don't fucking listen.
Nah, fuck all that, bro. We got to get to this. Tell me when anybody tweeted though, but chat, this shit was tragic. Listen to this.
Making me feel like y'all tough.
Niggas is telling. I told you niggas. I told you niggas that niggas was gonna tell. Tell the truth. They said the truth will set you free. Well, boy, wasn't that the motherfucking statement of the century? Yeah, they said the truth will set you free, ain't it? The truth will set you free, huh? I told you niggas that rats and snakes hang together. Didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all this? Yeah, please. We got 4,000 people up in here that want to know. My live ain't usually got 4,000 people.
The pastor must give us a sermon about these snakes slithering and squirming. A bitch did my hair though, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got niggas on my hair. My bitch did this.
All these good people. This man went in the courtroom and all these
good people that said, yeah, we a gang. What? I'm telling y'all right now, TSF ain't no gang.
Y'all never hear me say gang. We ain't gang, nothing. This is the family, and this is a factory of business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, them niggas over there is pushing paperwork. You know what I'm saying? These people is pushing pleas to stop from pushing prison. You know what I'm saying?
Stop it.
Never say you. Hey, man. These people is up in there.
That nigga pushing forensics. Hey man, I told you. I need y'all to have the same
energy y'all had for 6ix9ine, and y'all some hoe ass fans, and y'all some probably snitching too. Y'all probably tell on your mama, your best friend, your cousin, and your sister too. You know what I'm saying? You niggas, all of y'all that mad at 6ix9ine, all you motherfuckers that said all this shit about 6ix9ine, and all them other niggas that told y'all better do the same thing, or you black motherfuckers is fake. I'm mad and sad that I support.
Well, let me ask you this question. Does anybody expect the same energy to be kept for Gunna as 6ix9ine? Let's keep it real. Gunna is liked. Remember I always say, this is my motto, it's better to be liked than to be right. Gunna is liked. 6ix9ine was not liked. Gunna, I believe, could beat these allegations. There people going to be like, well, it ain't really like that. We like Gunna. I like that song. She banking on me, I'm the bank. That's my song. Still. Again, do you expect the same energy to be kept? I don't. But I'm realistic. So I knew I'm like, damn, 6ix9ine, they're going to kill you. But Gunna, I really think that, listen, unless Young Thug goes on a campaign, and keep in mind, Young Thug is famous, Shotty was not. Right? Put it like this. If Young Thug wasn't famous, Gunna beats these allegations. You know why? Because nobody would have gave a fuck about nobody else on the case. With 6ix9ine, niggas don't really care about them guys. Niggas just hate 6ix9ine. Let's be honest. Other than Shotty being on the intro of Billy, bruh, there's no artists, there's no people that you know or care about that was in 6ix9ine's camp. The only reason why we slightly even give a fuck about this is because we're thinking Gunna is hurting Young Thug. But if it wasn't a Young Thug, we'd be like, welcome home. So glad you're home. We wouldn't even consider any type of snitching or telling. Let's be honest.
And teach y'all, try to give y'all knowledge, and I try to give y'all guidance so y'all to be in the same situations as these young men, and all of us have been through. I've been through these situations multiple times in life. I've been through multiple interrogations. I've been through multiple situations, and it's always going on. It never stops. We always going through something, and I will never tell or fold or my brother in no way, shape, or form. Fuck it, go and give me my 30 years, give me my 25. My daughters will see me off of FaceTime off one of these good phones up in here. Get this goddamn mail or however it's gonna go, come see me in visitation, because I chose for my own self to be a part of this situation. You see what I'm saying? And that's real. But your slime snitched and told a whole story. He's a narrator. Then it's 2023, we don't even need paperwork. They got this shit high definition iPhone. They got this shit in HD. They called that boy HD. So I Mr. Sergio, is this a gang in the criminal organization? Yes, we are a criminal organization and we do crime. Yes. Nigga, this ain't no motherfucking job interview. Somebody fighting for their life. I feel sorry for Jeffrey. I feel sorry for this man. That nigga boy. You hoe ass nigga boy. What they call it, what they discovered, this ain't even no fed case, bro. Let's just talk about the real. Bro, this ain't even no federal charge, bro. Like, on some real nigga shit, bro, you was gonna get about 2 years, bro. 1 year, bro. You fought all the way in, the most they could have gave you is the same 5 years that you got after 10, and you would have got them same 5 years, bro.
I mean, that's like an acceptable point. We don't think that Gunna was going to get significant time. I think they probably sweetened the pot by saying, well, if you do whatever we need you to do now, we'll just give you time served. You'll get out immediately, and the rest will be, commuted. We kind of got to wait for YSL. I'm going to be honest, though. Even if YSL say they're cool. Oh, no, nah, that's a gang. We knew this. I'm wondering how other rappers, because certain rappers act a little bit too thugged out. Again, I don't care. I will still listen to his music. I will state this on the record. I don't care. But there's certain rappers who act like they're so thugged. You know, when I do off the record and I always ask people, you ain't considered telling? And people be thinking, oh, that's just you being you. Bro, people act like telling is like the majority of niggas tell. They be acting like it's a minority. The majority tell. Anyway.
Man wanted to get out and touch that pussy.
If I say this right now, I can go home.
I can get to go home right now if I say this right now. Look here.
Jail in an hour, man.
That man got jail so fast, he boy got tired of that shit.
You need to go get your shit.
That boy got tired of that shit, boy. That nigga was going so. I ain't popped the Percocet in 40 days. That boy say, I miss Balenciaga. I'm tired of this.
That boy said, backwood in the courtroom.
They keep they keep asking me to rap drip too hard. I'm tired of rapping this song. Little baby free, I'm tired of rapping this song. Listen, I told y'all. Hey, y'all dick riding ass, hey man, niggas be riding with these signed ass niggas because these niggas be signed to these record labels. And y'all, this is what's crazy. This a nigga first offense. You ain't even got no fucked up history, bro. If they pull up what's called your PSI that has all of your crimes from your entire life, your shit is gonna, you 0 points. That man.
All right, please, let me know if I'm waiting for everybody to get out of court. We're waiting on Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, that trial to give break for the day. They said it was going to be around 4 p.m., which theoretically we would have about like 2.5 more hours, but they give frequent breaks. There should be a 15-minute break coming up, so we're waiting on that. Other than that, we could go back to the live version of this. Yeah, this is really horrible, reception that's coming from this feed. If you want to recap on everything that I've gone over so far today, right? And we've been streaming for 3 hours. Number one, Young Thug's lawyer successfully knocked out the cell records that showed him communicating and ordering things that would be in congruence with being a gang leader. So he was saying, yo, niggas got to do this or niggas got to get out the way. He was talking with other gang leaders that established Young Thug to be a leader of a gang. That will not be admissible in court. That will not be allowed to be used by the prosecutors. Okay, so they're going to have to use a lot of probably witnesses that they have now turned, including Gunna. And I'm sorry to say it, Gunna is a possible prosecution witness who would probably be called to testify to the hierarchy of YSL, whether in the component of being a gang or a music label. Just to say, hey, listen, if Thug said something to somebody else who was YSL, would that person listen? Would they do it? Would blah, blah, blah. Do people have to listen, have to come to Thug for permission? In the indictment, it said that when niggas wanted to do something to YFN Lucci, they had to go out of their way to try to get the permission of Young Thug. That all goes to the narrative that Young Thug is a leader and probably a top, if not the highest member of YSL. They've at least got the cell phone stuff out the way. Now, they claim not only that Young Thug is a top guy in the gang, they believe that Young Thug has ordered or probably was behind the death of one named Nut, which sparked the beef with YFN Lucci and the YFN family or the YFN gang, whatever they call it. Now, Young Thug's lawyer said, no, you shouldn't be able to use the info that Thug ordered the car. The judge did not agree with Thug's lawyers, and they, on that particular situation, said the prosecutors are right. You don't have any right to the records of what Hertz has, and Hertz isn't going to come in court. There's few companies that historically have gone to bat for their customers to say, hey, we don't want to share our info with you. And it's not really that they cared about the particular customer. They cared about the principle. Hertz don't give a fuck. You rented their car, you did a drive-by in it, or you did a shootout in it. They're going to tell on you, or they have not tell on you, but they have no problem with giving the records up. The judge said that is going to count. Now, you had Young Thug's lawyer who said, well, there's a lot of gray area and a lot of lines crossed by the prosecutor. We should probably throw out the whole case because really this seems like a lot of prosecutorial misconduct. The judge disagreed with that. They're trying to knock down some other stuff, and currently the judge is looking at it now. Essentially, it's a win for a loss. And by the way, if you ask me, this is my personal opinion, but I do believe that the prosecutor probably thought about giving Gunna that plea because they knew this would happen. This was being put into the air from time, saying that there was illegally obtained information that was in this case, that without this information, the case would be significantly weaker. That is true. However, the prosecutor, I think, has made up for it because they have given a bunch of pleas to the other guys who will now tell on Young Thug anyway. So they're like, all right, fine, we don't got your cell phone, but we got a bunch of dudes you were texting. By the way, the co-founder, who they just also gave a plea, is one of the niggas he was texting. So whether they have the phone or not, if Young Thug takes it to trial, they're going to be like, okay, we can't use the phone info, but let me ask him. We could bring him up on stand and said, hey, has Young Thug ever hit you up and said, hey, listen, for the niggas got to get sacrificed for the betterment of what we got going on? And that person is going to be obliged to say yes based on the plea he got to say yes. Young Thug did talk about niggas got to get sacrificed for YSL the gang. You know what that then proves? Young Thug is one of the leaders of YSL the gang. Then they're going to bring up Gunna. Hey, Gunna. Hey, what's your deal with this? What do you know about this? You know what they're going to pinpoint with Thug? Hey, listen. In that situation when we got pulled over when there was a bunch of shooters in the back with other cars, but even specifically the car, did Young Thug have a bunch of drugs and a gun in that car? You stated already in your plea, it ain't yours. Is it reasonable to assume it was Young Thug's? Remember, maybe he could invoke the fifth and you could think of some Kelsey shit, but at this point, it looks like he probably got to say, yo, I know Thug, that gun was Thug, or those drugs was Thugs. You know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. Like, again, I know y'all want to, like, we all over here, like, we love this shit. I love all these guys' musics, but it is what it is, okay? So I caught you up. Hopefully we'll get like a final ruling on everything. I'm waiting for this. It's not the best feed in the world. We're also waiting on the Kelsey trial. The judge is reviewing a bunch of stuff. Is reviewing, let me see. It looks like he's about to speak again.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's see.
All right. Okay, Ms. Harvey, that answer your inquiry?
Yes, thank you, Judge. I'm just here to get my COE from Mr. Fox, Mr. Field, Mr. Guy.
Your Honor, that's not true. He's old enough to where he don't need CL.
That's true. That's true. So is David. So is David. If you hit 105, you don't need that.
Well, I heard you saying that over 70, you're good, so yeah. Is that easy? All right, okay. I'll track that. Okay, is there anybody else? You otherwise not told me you'd like to go ahead and entertain these motions here.
Well, Your Honor, I have a different issue. I was just retained and just filed my entry, so I do not believe that I have any motions pending, but I'm not sure if there were any that were unheard by previous counsel.
Okay, who are you representing on David?
Trontavia Stevens, Your Honor. Mr. Flugel had to withdraw because his wife had a medical issue.
Yes, that's true, and we are familiar with that issue.
Yes, Judge.
I would like to, he has several motions, ladies and sir, did he ever rule on any motions that I know he argued some?
Your Honor, some of the motions were ruled on. I think particularly the Sullivan demurs that Mr. Floyd handled last time.
Yeah, Ms. Glenn, I've got a couple of, he's got motions on testimony, facts, and big
I'm sorry, Judge, I think maybe not hearing it.
One more time. You on record.
Thank you, Judge.
There is a motion to limit the testimony to facts stipulated in the plea colloquy. I don't believe we've taken that up or taken that issue. I know that we ruled upon the special demurs as to count 1, Acts 48, 49, 50, 52, 53, and 54. And the special demurs to count 1, Acts 127 and 132. Mr. Floyd, did we take up anything else in regards to as it relates to Mr. Stevens? I believe that you argued and I ruled upon those particular motions the last time we were here, sir. Is that correct?
The ones that you just described, Judge, yes, you did.
The lady in the pink keeps typing because she's probably the stenographer. So she's the person responsible for the transcript. They probably have an audio device that's also like, doing it technologically, but also she's going to do her own, and then they kind of like join them into it. Then they'll redact it before the public, because all these are going to be public. Criminal hearings are going to be public. Sorry. What the fuck? Is this shit just muting randomly? I didn't turn it off. These are bailiffs. This is a stenographer. This is the judge. There's other bailiffs around here. There's a lot of defendants in the court, so there's probably more than enough bailiffs, in case niggas start getting rambunctious. Don't know. Like, right now, the audio is up. It's not me. React to the Boosie video about Gunna. Did Boosie make a video? What did Boosie say? Go to Say Cheese Twitter. Here we go. What's Say Cheese Twitter? Say Cheese. Let me play what they said happened. Is there audio or no? What am I looking at? What am I looking at? He said this happened. I can't hear anything. Yeah, so it's not my audio.
We will certainly entertain you at some point in time. Okay.
All right, this is back. This is back.
Anybody else? Okay. All right. Ms. Love and Mr. Floyd and Ms. Hilton and Ms. Rosenwasser, and councils, all of you. I know that we were supposed to take up the jury questionnaires. I think I'm going to not take up those issues today. I'll wait until probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. Since all the lawyers are not here, most of them will be here probably on Monday or Tuesday, and resolution may affect some of those particular folks. So,
chat, why y'all say delete blog type shit? All right, chat, please stop. We ain't deleting shit, okay? We're not deleting shit, okay? All this means is that, I mean, I'll give you the option. I'm not restarting YouTube because we don't post the full block, the full VOD on YouTube anyway. But I could delete this. We could not just publish this VOD. Like, I'm cool with not publishing.
All right, so Young Thug is not. You're not showing the right stuff. Let me see. Academics.
Lawyer
kicked
for
off
workers.
The screen right now. Let me do the YouTube search now.
Here we go.
Let's see, Young Thug.
Did we play this? We did this.
All right, let's see. It says 33 minutes. Let's see what this is.
Monzo.com makes GANs great again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to say again because they never were, and they're complicated. See, with
Going down to line 3, it's on page 34, continuing. Mr. Bailey, the district attorney, on page 2.
Interrupt you a second.
Yeah, of course.
IT is about to create a new secure Zoom link, but it's only for the attorneys. You're not to share the link. You understand me? Good? All right, thanks. Okay. I'm sorry.
All right, you can see Young Thug right there. He in the back of the court. He's right there in the corner.
On page 3, 34, Your Honor, of Courts Exhibit 2, line 3. This is Mr. Bailey, the district attorney at that time, or senior assistant district attorney. On page 3 of the motion, it states, Mr. Williams was arrested on a DeKalb County warrant. However, law enforcement officers unlawfully entered and searched Mr. Williams' home, even though they were supposedly armed with an arrest warrant, and there was no need to search or even enter Mr. Williams' home in an effort to serve this alleged arrest warrant, as there was no lawful reason to force entering Mr. Williams' home. Then there are two parts here, and that's the long and short of it. Did they, meaning police, have the right to effect the arrest warrant, and what did they see once they got inside that would rise to probable cause? Then, skipping, Your Honor, to line 21, same page 34, this is Mr. Bailey again. Normally, officers can't just walk into folks' homes. That is well established, but there is a carve-out for affecting. Officers have reasonable belief the individuals inside. So it is not this way the state is saying that it's only somehow marijuana. I challenge the entry into Mr. Williams' home. When law enforcement went in the home, they allegedly found marijuana, guns, other contraband, and that's when eventually the seizure of all of Mr. Williams' electronic devices that I've challenged, that should have been returned, I've challenged, cannot be used in this case. On page 35, the district attorney said, at the end of line 1, Your Honor, or it's the middle of line 1, an arrest warrant found on probable cause implicitly carries with it the limited authority to enter a dwelling in which a suspect lives when there is reason to believe he is within. The state is saying the entry into
They got a shitty connection on everything,
he
bro.
has his constitutional right to violate. He's a victim. The court should say respectfully, no one
Everybody's
this
streaming
was
too much.
litigated on
getting paid to learn how to code. 12 weeks ago, I was staring at a computer, not getting anywhere.
Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm is live at the Fulton County Courthouse. Rebecca, there's now been a delay with today's hearing.
Yeah, that's right, Gravir and Rob. They're having some technical difficulties that they're trying to work out. So, on the 8th floor in a courtroom here at the Fulton County Courthouse, Young Thug, along with his attorneys and some of his co-defendants and their attorneys, were waiting for more than an hour before the judge came out and explained the holdup. In the meantime, here's how we got here. Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, has been in jail without bond since May. He's one of 28 defendants who prosecutors say were involved in organized criminal activity as part of the Young Slime Life street gang. Besides racketeering, Young Thug faces weapons, drugs, and gang charges. This hearing, scheduled for the same week that 2 of the co-defendants found a way to avoid trial. The higher profile of the 2, the rapper Gunna, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, walked out of the Fulton County Jail Wednesday after negotiating an offered plea, a type of guilty plea
Somebody in the
doesn't
jail,
have
right?
to admit to the crime, but gets a lighter sentence by avoiding trial. Gunna insists he is not cooperating with prosecutors as part of his deal.
Oh, no.
And as for the delay in the hearing today for Young Thug, there's a chance that it'll happen this afternoon if they can work out the technical difficulties. We will let you know, and we will stream it for you if it happens on our Atlanta News First app. Live at the Fulton County Courthouse, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
And we're staying on top of this breaking news tonight. Within the past 45 minutes, Atlanta rapper Gunna walked out of the Fulton County Jail. The rapper, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, entered a negotiated guilty plea, what's known as an Alford plea, allowing him to also maintain his innocence. Gunna was in jail on racketeering and conspiracy charges, part of a large gang indictment that includes rapper Young Thug and other alleged members of YSL or Young Slime Life gang. And also today, alleged YSL co-founder Walter Murphy negotiated a guilty plea in the RICO indictment ahead of the trial scheduled to start next month. New at 6, Channel 2's Mark Winnie is live at the Fulton County Jail with what all of this means today. Mark.
Yeah, some big stuff said in court today. We got wind that something was going on in the YSL case, hustled down to the courthouse, got there in time. I shot the hearing on my iPhone. It is a major, major development in a major case.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
That Sergio Kitchens, perhaps better known as music star Gunna, was gonna get out of jail soon seemed apparent early in the hearing as Fulton County Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love went through the sentence that would be recommended.
5 years to serve 1, commuted to time served, balance suspended. And the parties agree that upon completion of the special conditions that I will enumerate, the suspended sentence will terminate by consent order.
The Fulton County District Attorney's Office says Gunna pled guilty to the single count he faced in a sprawling indictment focused on the alleged criminal street gang YSL against him and more than 24 others. Conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. The guilty plea entered as what's called an Alford plea, where a defendant doesn't admit he committed the crime but acknowledges it's in his best interest to plead guilty.
If called by any party in this case, you will testify truthfully, but reserve any Fifth Amendment rights or privileges against self-incrimination. You agree to perform 500 hours of community service, a substantial portion of which will require that you speak to young men and women about the hazards and immortality of gangs and gang violence, and the decay that it causes our communities.
A Sergio Kitchens press statement suggests in the case of his Alford plea, he's, quote, maintaining my innocence toward the same charge, unquote. It says, while I've agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. In court, some startling statements.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that the statements are truthful, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the game to the detriment of my community. YSL as a game must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
A YSL indictment includes Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug. His attorney, Brian Steele, has said,
Mr. Williams committed no crime.
Judge Ural Glanville.
I find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I find no factual basis for your plea, and I'm going to accept your plea as tendered and as negotiated.
Now, Jacoby Hudson, defense attorney for YSL case defendant Walter Murphy, confirms that late Tuesday, Murphy pled guilty to a racketeering conspiracy count and has been released from the Fulton County Jail already. Hudson says Murphy will not testify about the conduct of any other individual defendants. Hudson indicated how Murphy changed his life after he got out of prison was a major factor in the deal. Reporting live outside the Fulton County Jail, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
Want to register for an LLC in 4 easy steps? I got you. Go to Taylor Brands and let's officially
It's not me. They cut the audio feed in the courtroom, so I guess we could watch for a second. I'll play some music while we sitting here in this little thing. Then we're gonna check back in with the Megan Thee Stallion case. We'll be right back. NJLIVE.
What up? It's DJ Envy from that Breakfast Club. What's up? It's Megan Thee Stallion.
Yo, what's poppin'? It's the kid. It's Dolph.
YVS DJs are in the building. Let's get it. Wakata.
Step up. Step up. Step up. Step up. Time to step up on these niggas. Stepping up. Yeah. Just like the beat, I stay in tune. I'm gonna eat, I will consume. Fuck the elephant, I'm a right on the room. Bitches are trifling, let's not assume. Beat up the box, left them with bruise. Count up my winners, they coming in twos. So much effort, how can I lose? Fucking my shit, you got it confused. Niggas DJs are in the building. Like Marvin the Martian, I'm up by the moon. That's why my diamonds just look like the galaxy. Killing the drip game, it's a fatality. Too far ahead, now where they passing me. Getting my watch up to a salary. Getting my chain up to a salary. That's when my pockets collecting no calories. Take so much pictures, I feel like a gallery. Lame niggas, they just bad for my allergies. Killing these niggas is way too embarrassing. Don't fuck with people that fuck up with people. Keep it all legal or it could get lethal. Like Harriet Tubman, I ride for my people. I am too different, don't think that we equal. My grind will continue, I call it the sequel. I am real cool, don't let that deceive you. Drip with that water, I'm fly like a pelican. Who the fuck let you think that you was better than? Foot in the game, I call that shit settling. Hard-headed, just like a Mexican. Hard-working, just like a Jamaican. Not on the ass service, it was amazing. Spicy like Cajun, my new money agent. No females in booth, too much persuasion. I'm flying in the coupe, it's no illusion. No cap in my rap, so what you including? My weed be boofing, these girls are too choosy. Beat up the pussy, I straight up abuse it. Your teammate got starters, straight up be losing. Don't fuck with a team that don't get that bag. The way that they hate, shit really sad. They try to hide it, but they really mad. We provide just pull up with cash. Stepping up on these niggas, kiss my ass. Stepping up on these niggas, kiss my ass. Stepping up on these niggas, kiss my ass. Beezy time. Double E. Beezy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tapped in. You could have been anywhere in the world
with YMVS Radio.
But you're here with me. I set up. I sent that bitch to go get the bag. Ay. I sent that bitch to go get the bag. I motivate, elevate, we gotta make this shit last. You do the math, add it up, multiply, make this shit double up, triple up. We just sit back and pull up, you know, and we watch it stack. I send a bitch to go get the bag. I motivate, elevate, we gotta make this shit last. You do the math, add it up, multiply. multiply, make this shit double up, triple up. We just sit back and I pour. And we watch it stack. Go get that back, I can't stop. Go get that back, I can't stop it. Entrepreneur on my occupation. My comments ain't ducking no options. Step on my dream, I take it to an opposition. Demons run me better, judge your decision. We can make it mixed, you know I'm a chemist. Love it when they call me doctor. Big trip, stunning, got water, no leaking, drenching. I got 2 twins and they switching position. Lip gloss popping, I love when they kiss it. Make me reminiscing when I hit switches. Spin my new block, I just spin that bitch backwards. I make a Benji when I'm parking backwards. No need to scream out the action, camera stay flashing. Look at the posse, go stuff in my mattress. Ice to the neck, who she signed to. It's an FG run on her neck piece. Break a bitch down before I build her up. Cause I ain't got time, man, no schedule. If she wanna leave, pull her to the door. Never been a setter, just a great actor. If I ain't slap, let it tap out. Swear I miss the raise when she rock out. 10 rats on the telly when she ball out. I beat her like Kim, make her tap out. If it ain't slap, it make her clock out. Damn, go down, hey, go get that bag, hey, go get that bag, go get that bag, hey, 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 hey. I send a bitch to go get the bag. I motivate, elevate, gotta make this shit last. You do the math, add it up, multiply, make this shit double up, triple up. We just sit back and we pour up, and we watch it stack. I send a bitch to go get the bag. I motivate, elevate, we gotta make this shit last. You do the math, add it up, multiply, make this shit double up, triple up. We just sit back and we pour up.
Yo, it's the kid 50 Cent. It's your boy Lil Jon, yeah! Hey, what's the deal, man? It's your boy Ty Dolla $ign. What up, Snake on that bustle?
At this point, I've not had the benefit of talking to my client because he's been moved. Hopefully, once I get an offer, I can present it to him. Otherwise, we'll be ready to go forward on motions on the 19th.
Okay. No, he will not be here on Monday. He's currently probably being processed into GDC, and once he's processed in, I'll get notification, and then I can start the process to bring him back to Fulton. So it may be one day next week, or possibly before trial.
Yes, sir. So we'll go ahead and do the same. If the kids come on Monday, Mr. Chamberlain is trying to work that issue with he's got to go through GDC and obviously with the assess and everything else. So we're going to see if there's anything we talk to them at the stage and see.
No, we completely understand all the logistics. We're not trying to rush anything.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll deal with it when he gets here.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Your Honor.
Yeah, any other business? And if you want to stick around, it's fine. If you want to be excused, that's okay too.
I'll stick around for a minute. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
I should be going back to I got this, but
Whoa. Turn that shit down. Play that smooth shit.
Giving you that new shit. That new shit on YSL Radio.
I love it. Foxy incredible, my destiny inevitable. Sweeter than a cherry, my nookie is more than edible. I'm very sexual, I like the way he touch me. I make sure when he leave that he's always looking at me. I put it down on him, make the bed rock, and I ride that little pony till I make that pony pop.